It's Friday. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Fort Worth. On this date, the first race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway occurred in 1909. The Beatles kicked off their first U.S. tour in San Francisco at Cow Palace in 1964. And today, August 19th, is World Humanitarian Day. This is the day that we celebrate people helping people, so designated by the UN in 2008. Whenever and wherever people are in need, there are others who help them, and you can always be sure that Rotarians are not far. And with that, I would particularly like to welcome Tarleton State University. Thank you for sponsoring today. Tarleton State University. We have many esteemed faculty members with us and the president. Tarleton State University, a founding member of the Texas A&M University System, transforms generations by inspiring discovery, leadership, and inclusion through educational excellence. Tarleton will be the premier comprehensive regional university in the nation with a keen focus on student success, teaching, and research. John Tarleton's commitment to educational opportunity and affordability is part and parcel of everything we do. And now to continue on, if I could please have Jim Austin, president of JimAustinOnline.com, lead us with the invocation, and Harriet Harrell, principal of the Harrell Group, will lead us in the national anthem.
Thank you, Madam President. Bow our heads, please. Gracious God, we thank you for your kindness in bringing us together today. Lead us into conversation that are fruitful, enrich the lives of those who are here today. When we are undecided on decisions that each of us are called upon to make, please lead us in your wisdom. When our opinions may disagree, help us to remain respectful to one another. More than anything, Lord, would you help us to all seek your will, to pursue your glory through all that we say and do. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
And now we particularly want to welcome our visiting guest and Rotarians, Mark Maurer, who is a development officer with Tarleton State University. Will do the honors.
Thank you. Thank you, President Sean. This is one of those unique Rotary Fridays where we have the opportunity to eschew individual names that I might butcher because we have a lot of guests, so we're blessed in that regard. We do want to thank specifically our guests from T3. If you guys wouldn't mind standing and letting us recognize you. Appreciate y'all being here and being a big part of this program, or the program. And I'd be remiss, maybe fired, if I didn't even ask y'all to recognize my colleagues and friends from Tarleton State. So please rise and let us recognize you today too. Thank you. Certainly appreciate the individuals whose names maybe we'll butcher another time, or hopefully not. But please come back and maybe even consider membership. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. As Rotarians, we embrace the four-way test as a shared core value, and we come together to recite it each week. So please join me. Number 1, is it the truth? 2, is it fair to all concerned? 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? We also have our own Rotary news agency. You never know what's going on in the world. And so here to tell us is Brandon Gingelbach, President and CEO of the Fort Worth Chamber of Commerce.
All right, everybody. For all these guests that are from the education community, this is intended to be funny, poking fun of people. When I mention people's names, it's out of love because it's flattery and fun. So this is, and we take this seriously. So, all right, welcome to the Rotary News class. I had a better speech prepared for you all this afternoon, but the FBI broke into my beach house and confiscated all my jokes. In the world of sports, LeBron James negotiated a $97.1 million contract for 2 years. To celebrate, he bought every kid at Fort Worth ISD a pair of his basketball shoes, which they all promptly traded in at Foot Locker for Air Jordans. Yeah. The Texas Ranger president, John Daniels, and manager Chris Woodward were fired this week. Owner Ray Davis said, "Bottom line is we're not good and we haven't been good for 6 years." On the positive side, Davis said the color blue has an 80-22 record in the dot race that happens during the 7th inning of each game. Okay. Bob Mitchell, I don't know if Bob's here today. Bob, hey, Bob actually called me a few weeks ago. He was ecstatic that the CHIPS bill passed. That's until I told him, hey, Bob, the CHIPS bill has nothing to do with bringing back the television show CHIPS and Eric Estrada. So speaking of Jim Austin, I remember when I was younger, this really cute girl asked me, Brandon, would you like to be the sun in my life? I said, yes, please. She responded with, good, then please stay 92.96 million miles away from me. Yes. Okay, in the world of politics, I don't know if you know this or not, but the president of IKEA was just elected Prime Minister of Sweden. He is currently putting together his cabinet. Yep, I got more. President Biden signed the Inflation Reduction Bill into law on Tuesday. He said, let me say from the start, with this law, the American people won and special interests lost. After the bill signing, the president excused himself to go hunting and fishing in upstate New York with the Wind and Solar Power Association of America. Not as strong. If you've driven by the big construction site at Henderson Street and West Lancaster across from the Masonic Temple, you may have wondered, what is being built on that block? Well, construction crews are building a new Quick Trip gas station. It's likely going to be the largest convenience store in the area. Construction will finish in 2024, which is the same year we expect the Fort Worth Club elevator renovation to conclude. That's close to home, isn't it? Okay, a recent study of staffing issues in the Fort Worth Fire Department and its emergency management office has led city officials to start looking at improving its 911 operations. We've had a lot of challenges, but this proposal lets us review our operations so we can provide best-in-class services to our residents, said Valerie Washington, Assistant City Manager. After repeated attempts, the 911 Operations Center was not able to be reached for comment. I said, everyone, it's just a joke. That's close to. The co-pilot who fell to his death after getting off an aircraft mid-flight in North Carolina may have been sick and was described as visibly upset prior to exiting the plane without a parachute. This, according to a preliminary report from the National Transportation and Safety Board. He had just finished a self-esteem seminar by Eric Fox before boarding the plane. Yes, yeah. And finally, thank you. Here we go. In honor of of our education focus today, why was the math book so unhappy? Because it was full of problems. Thank you very much.
And you heard it here first. There's all the news you need to know. We have a few other announcements. Everyone take out your calendars. The USS Fort Worth is coming to town. The sailors are on their way. And you know, we have a special relationship here at the Rotary Club in supporting the USS Fort Worth. We are having a happy hour on September 12th, which is a Monday evening. There will be more information forthcoming in the Rotograph. Shanna Saldana is our point person, but definitely please put that on your calendar. And also, you too can be a member of the USS Fort Worth Support Committee, and you can join anytime, but right now is the start of their new fiscal year and the ideal time to sign up. Membership is in different levels from $125 to the $1,000 Anchor Club with Judge Whitley. And the funds are put to such great use. They support the crew and their families. They buy hats, belt buckles, boots for outstanding sailors, funds for continuing education for the crew, various welfare and morale items, and especially monies to bring them here to Fort Worth every year. Usually, of course, the commander would join us at a Rotary meeting. They're arriving on Saturday instead of Friday, but you can see them on Monday at the happy hour, and also on Sunday, September 11th, there's another event celebrating the 10th anniversary of the ship's commissioning from 5 to 8 p.m. And tickets are available for that event as well. So CJR Labby, Tim Halden, or more information in the Rotograph. And now we have some special guests from Texas Wesleyan. If I could please have Harriet Harrell, principal with the Harrell Group, football player Dylan Petway, who's a linebacker, and the Gold Line Dancers and the other Texas Wesleyan football team. Come on up, gang.
How are y'all doing this evening? All right, so this coming up Friday, this coming up Saturday, next Saturday, August 27th, we're playing against a team coming from Mexico called, it's Arkansas State's campus, and I don't even know how to pronounce it, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm not even gonna butcher it. So kickoff's at 7, and there's pregame festivities at 5 p.m. through 7 p.m. There's gonna be like a couple concerts, just main events. Just bring out your families, bring your kids get in free. Tickets are $10. Miss Harry's gonna tell y'all how to buy tickets, pre-order tickets, and here you go. Yep.
I think we should have cheerleaders at every Rotary meeting. Wasn't that a great way to be greeted as you came in? And football players, you're welcome anytime. So you all may remember when Coach Prudhomme spoke to us a couple of months ago, and told us that here in Fort Worth was going to be the very first international college football game. Well, who would want to miss that? So this is our chance a week from Saturday, and you have these flyers on your table. So here's what you're to do right now. Get out your phone. I'm not seeing people stopping eating and getting out your phone. Get your phone, turn to your QR code app, and this QR code is where you order adult tickets, only $10. What a deal. This QR code is for students 12 to 18, $5, an even better deal. And as Dylan said, below 12 is free. So it's a great opportunity for a family event, for you to bring the whole crew and join with your Rotary family for a lot of fun. We have tickets, a block of tickets on the 50-yard line at Farrington Field. So it'll be a great opportunity to watch a super game. We're going to cheer for the Rams, who are representing the United States of America. So get your phone out, aim it at that QR code, and plan to come.
Thank you. Oh, period. I'm calling this the Tex-Mex game, and it's going to be loads of fun. Please come join us. Bring your family. If your kids misbehave, we won't even notice. So this is a Rotary family social. And we are going to have we're going to have a drawing, if you will. And so 8 of the Rotarians will have VIP backstage passes for the concert and a barbecue dinner. And thank you to Roland Johnson, a fellow Rotarian, who is helping us with that sponsorship. Saturday, August 27th. And now we have new member introductions. If I could please have Kim McQuistion and Dana Fitzpatrick and past President J.R. Labby and Bill Masterson join us at the stage.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. In keeping with the theme of higher education today, it is my pleasure to formally introduce Dr. Dana Fitzpatrick as the newest member of the Rotary Club of Fort Worth. Dr. Fitzpatrick, or Dr. Fitz, as she is known by many, serves as the Director of Institutional Inclusive Programs and External Community Engagement in the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Tarleton State University and serves their multi-campus communities. I can vouch for her presence here in Fort Worth at the Tarleton campus. She comes to post-secondary education after a 20-plus year career in K through 12, culminating in a key leadership role as a school district administrator. Her expertise lie in long-range program planning, community outreach, and curriculum development. Student development has always been her true north. Being a first-generation college graduate, Dr. Fitz understands the importance of providing support that extends beyond the classroom and how it can make all the difference in student success. Dr. Fitz holds a bachelor's degree in education from Chicago State University, a master's in both educational technology and educational administration from Concordia University in Chicago, and a doctorate of philosophy from Tarleton State University. Her dissertation was titled Namaste, did I get that? Okay. In teaching, how yoga affects novice teacher resilience. And I don't know, I kind of thought that was an interesting fact all in of itself. Dr. Fitz was born in Texas, but she was not born in Texas, but got here as fast as she could. Born and raised on the south side of Chicago, she and her family relocated to Texas in 2013. Dr. Fitz currently lives in Stephenville, Texas with her husband, son, and 3 dogs that lack an understanding of personal space. She enjoys yoga, crafting, home decorating, visiting museums, and being a grandma to her beautiful granddaughter who turns 1 year old this week. Please help me welcome Dr. Fitz to the club and to the microphone for her to share an interesting fact about herself.
It's a pleasure to be here. I would say my interesting fact is that I coach men's basketball, and I'm also a certified yoga instructor. Yay! Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Short.
It is my pleasure to introduce Bill Masterton, the new Chief Operating Officer at JPS Health Network, to Rotary Club of Fort Worth. Before relocating to our fine city, Bill was the CEO of LCMC Health's adult market in the greater New Orleans area. Those are adult hospitals. A licensed CPA, Bill hails from Florida, where he earned a bachelor's in accounting and an MBA from the University of South Florida. He served from 1988 to 1994 in the U.S. Naval Reserve. Thank you for your service, my friend. He is no rookie to Rotary. His Paul Harris Fellow bling is not a pin, but it is a crown. He's given so much to Rotary International Foundation. Please welcome Bill Masterton to the Rotary Club of Fort Worth.
JR told me, you have to say something interesting and try to make it funny. And I'm like, I'm a CPA by training. There's absolutely no chance it'll be funny. But I did have the pleasure of meeting David Campbell earlier in another space. And the interesting fact about me is that I'm a golfer. And you're like, how can that be funny? Well, when he goes, when I told David Campbell my handicap, he's like, you're really an enthusiast, not a golfer. Thank you. Excited to be here. Oh, thank you.
Welcome to Rotary. We're delighted to have you in our club.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
Excited to be here.
So, folks, don't forget the Buddy Pass. The Buddy Pass is alive and well here in the new year. We'll talk more about that when September rolls around, but we love having new members. Welcome to these new members, and I'm sure we have many more on the way. And now it is back to school for all of us. Today's program is very serendipitous and especially fitting. If I could please welcome back Kim McQuistion to the podium. She is the Associate Vice Chancellor and Director for Texas A&M University System here in Fort Worth.
All right, thank you, President Sean. I was incredibly honored when I was asked to serve in the role as chairman of the day for today's program because the Tarrant 2 and 3 partnership is near and dear to my heart. During my time at Tarleton, I was connected to this effort from the inception, and I believe wholeheartedly in its mission to make a difference in the lives of students in this region. I had the opportunity to assist in the strategic planning process and then see the program come to life as we welcomed the first cohort of Tarleton Texans to campus last fall. I know they have a video they're going to show you here in just a minute that explains more about the T3 program, but in short, the T3 program aims to ensure more Tarrant County students have the training and skills they need to thrive in today's workforce. The program is focused on not only enrollment and post-secondary educational opportunities, but persistence through those programs. The goal is to support these students so they stay the course and achieve that degree or credential that they are seeking. The video will explain more about the why behind the work, followed by an insightful panel on education and workforce. I know y'all didn't come to hear me speak today, and I know JR already gave me the jab about keeping it short. So I'm going to quickly turn it over to Natalie Young-Williams, who serves as the T3 Executive Director. Natalie joined the staff last September after serving as the Chief of Staff at Paul Quinn College, which is an HBCU in Dallas. I believe she will be introducing the members of the panel, but given how accomplished our panelists are, feel free to reference the rotograph that Aurora sent out earlier this week for additional details on all of our speakers today. Natalie, the floor is yours.
The Tarrant 2 and 3 partnership, T3, aims to ensure more students in Tarrant County obtain a post-secondary credential and that each student has the training and skills they need to thrive in today's workforce. This local partnership is anchored by a dedicated backbone staff focused on serving our students and families in Tarrant County. The Tarrant 2 and 3 partnership, T3, aims to ensure more students in Tarrant County obtain a post-secondary credential and that each student has the training and skills they need to thrive in today's workforce. This local partnership is anchored by a dedicated backbone staff focused on serving our students and families in Tarrant County.
So the Tarrant 2 and 3 partnership is established with a variety of people in our community that are invested in the future of Fort Worth and Tarrant County. Ask yourselves, are all our children able to succeed in the same ways? The answer quite simply has been no. But what I'm most excited about is I feel this momentum across our community for the first time in a very long time where everybody is pulling in the same direction.
This is a personal mission. This is the story of my family. This is the story of countless of families that are like me and look like me. And for me, that is the driver. Post-secondary success is ultimately getting to and through college or post-secondary credential and being successful in your career, because that'll give you the tools necessary to affect change for your family and also for generations to come. In addition, it'll give you the capacity needed to affect change in our world today.
This is an important partnership and the mission is critical. Education is one of the best predictors of long-term success. And so it's important that we have initiatives like this to invest in our students for many years to come. Success of the T3 partnership is equivalent to long-term success for Tarrant County. An educated society brings forth a host of advantages that otherwise may not be available. It's time to break the cycle of poverty, and education is the main key to doing just that.
This partnership will allow our students the opportunity not only to go through college, but to receive support all the way through. I think it is going to be a game changer here at Dunbar High School and also all the other students that are going to receive this benefit.
As a first-generation college student, I had very limited resources to pursue higher education. I had someone, an advisor, who truly believed in me and walked me through the whole process. I am now, as an advisor, paying it forward. I truly believe that we need to inspire our students to know their passion and then help them navigate through the process to follow their passion.
After high school, I'm planning on applying to the United States Naval Academy and the Corps at Texas A&M. It takes dedication, hard work, motivation, and the willingness to do whatever it takes to succeed. Everyone is capable of success. They just need the proper support and resources to achieve whatever goals and aspirations they want to achieve.
Regardless of their backgrounds, regardless of their family troubles at home, regardless of what school they go to, we know the students sitting today in our classrooms in Tarrant County, they truly are the future workforce of tomorrow. We're confident that we can pour our resources into those very students to make sure Tarrant County is brighter and better tomorrow than we've ever been.
Post-secondary success is freedom.
Hope.
Possibilities.
It's accomplished.
Opportunity.
The T3 partnership is dedicated to improving student outcomes in 3 primary areas. Number 1, graduating more students from high school who are college, career, and military ready. Number 2, helping more students enroll in a post-secondary pathway with confidence. And number 3, empowering more students to persist by earning a degree or credential and entering the workforce with the skills they need for a successful career. To learn more or get connected, visit t3partnership.org.
Good afternoon. So happy to be here and be able to share a little bit about professional and personal passion. I think my life's work has been dedicated to serving and supporting students and ensuring that every student has the opportunity to reach their fullest potential. So I want to thank Dr. McChristian for her kind introduction and setting the stage for what we're going to discuss and talk through today. I'm Natalie Williams, Executive Director of T3 Partnership, and very happy to be here with members of my team. And so on behalf of the entire T3 team, I just want to thank you all for having us. There are a couple of folks that I want to just acknowledge specifically. We have Sarah Temple, who is our board chair. We have Dr. Bill Coppola, board member and president of Tarrant County College Southeast Campus. Have to make sure I get these campuses right, still learning that. And then we also have Mercedes Bolen. And she was just here. There she is, she's moved. She's board member and VP of External Affairs and Community Relations at Hillwood. So thank you all for being here to support us. Really quickly, before we dive into the panel, I wanted to just set the stage and frame some of the statistics that I think are really important for us to think about that grounds us and why community relationships and partnerships are really important. It truly is T3 and the partner institutions of higher education, our ISD partners, it's a community investment. And so when we look at the specific stats, one of the things that I think should stand out to you is that there's a gap between the number of Tarrant County adults who possess a post-secondary credential, which is 39%, and the industry demand for a post-secondary credential, which is 65%. What's startling is that the gap continues to widen for Tarrant County students. 77% of students in the 8th grade cohort did not complete a post-secondary credential within 6 years of high school graduation. For economically disadvantaged students, the gap intensifies to 86%. So when you think about those statistics and the mission of T3 and the power of partnership, Mayor Parker, I think, stated it aptly, that we want to ensure that all students have an opportunity to get the most out of their education and see those pathways to financial and family sustainability. When we look at our connection continuum on the next slide, what you'll see is that the work of T3 actually spans a decade. We're committed to leaning into parents and their families through our parent engagement pillar. We look at post-secondary advising and support to help students navigate how you take the pledge, what are those commitments, what are those possibilities and opportunities that are open to you. Mentoring and workforce development is another one of our core pillars. We recognize that students having a mentor to help them navigate that first career pathway or that internship when they're in college is critical and important as well. And then finally, completion. College and career success is dedicated to persistence. So when you look at that decade of time, it's a commitment. It's a commitment we make as T3. It's a commitment that our institutions of higher education make. It's a commitment that our ISD partners make. And it's truly a commitment that the community makes as well. So with that, we'll talk about some of our district partners. We're thrilled to be continuing in partnership with Fort Worth ISD and excited to announce our new partnership just this year with Crowley ISD. And in terms of our higher education partners, you'll hear from one of them here today, actually two of them. We have got TCC, we have Tarleton University, TCU, Texas Wesleyan University, Texas Women's University, UTA, UNT Denton, and UNT Dallas. All right, it is time for us to bring forward our amazing panelists to talk about the important connection between education, workforce development, and how these unique leaders are really leaning in to not only support T3, but to support the entire Tarrant County community. So when I call your name, please feel free to make it to the stage. First is the Chief Innovation Officer for Fort Worth ISD and a T3 board member, Dr. David Sines. And next we have Interim Chancellor for the Tarrant County College District, Dr. Elva LeBlanc. And then last, but certainly not least, we have our third panelist is President of Tarleton State University, Dr. James Hurley. I tried to navigate, like, do I want to stay here so I can see everybody? I'll probably stay here because it's easier for me to see. Okay, all right, I'll try to go in the middle. I'll navigate here. Can you all hear me okay? Perfect. So I think we're going to start it off. So first of all, thank you so much for being here and just sharing your perspective and sharing with us the importance of all of us working together to lean in for our students. Can you hear me? Testing, okay, all right.
Test.
There we go. I'm just, okay, I'm not talking into the mic. Okay, I'll do a little bit of a better job. You want to sweat? Okay.
They need to hear.
Is that better? Oh, wow. So it was the mic. Okay. So Dr. Sines, we'd like to start with you. As we talk about education and workforce development, Fort Worth ISD is a strong partner in deepening, our connection with students with advising. But when we think about filling the talent pipeline for employers, that's a big part of the equation. Can you talk about how Fort Worth ISD is preparing students for this next stage in their career path and journey?
Sure, thank you, Natalie. And I think it can start off with some simple thoughts first. Is we had Texas Wesleyan here earlier, we have Tarleton State, we have TCC. That collective will and collective impact leads to our collective success.
So it's really that collaboration that we're doing here in Fort Worth ISD with these organizations and many others to provide our students a pathway that moves from our students learning and being aware of their potential career path to exploring it in middle school to them being ready for it once they come through high school. And I'll give some specific examples of what that looks like along the way. Self-admittedly, our readiness component in high school is where we focused through the work of T3, through the work with Charlton State, Texas Wesleyan, and TCC. One specific example can be our early college high school programs. Just 4 or 5 years ago, we only had 3 standalone early college high school programs where our students are starting in 9th grade and graduating with their associate's degree. We have every year, back then, about 250, and that number's slowly risen since then. Well, today we have 15 early college programs and over 2,000 students enrolled in those programs as well. We have early college programs with TCC, and we have an early college program with Texas Wesleyan. That's one example of that high school readiness pathway. In career and technical education, so our students learning about engineering, learning about logistics, culinary, teaching, various programs and pathways. We have 25,000 students from 6th through 12th enrolled in programs that will provide the students the skills they need to be successful after they leave high school and they join some of the wonderful institutions that are here with us. So all that is to say is creating pathways and opportunities is what we've done in Fort Worth ISD with our partners to create that vision for our students and put them on the right path. Right? And that is supported through strong academic enrichment. And if you've been seeing our scores that have recently come out, Fort Worth ISD has made some good progress. We're now a B district, and it starts there, right? And then it starts also with making sure those pathways that I've talked about through career and tech, early college are relevant by working with our community. We've worked with the Fort Worth Chamber to make sure that we talk to our business partners and our programs match the needs of our city. And then, of course, with that, it's through investment as well. With our bond work, we've invested into our facilities. We can have all these wonderful pathways, but if our students are not experiencing the same work environment that they're experiencing when they go out into the world, it won't make that much of a difference. So if you go to our high schools now, and some are still under construction, you'll see state-of-the-art labs, from a smart hospital over at Trimble Tech, to a state-of-the-art culinary lab over at O.D. Wyatt and over at Northside High School. Those labs are an important piece of what we do. So through collaboration, through strong academics, through making sure our students have a path that they want to be theirs, and making sure that we support that path through investment from the community, that's how we feel and we know that we're being successful with our students, Natalie, because just 4 years ago, according to the state, we had 32 students that were earning their college and career readiness credential. Now we're at 60%. And so that progress is being made, and it's thanks to everybody in the room, thanks to our partners, and thanks to T3 for all the work you've done, not only provide that support for our students to know the path, but to also identify ways to finance that path, and to provide that guidance to the investment of the TCU advisors, and all the work that T3 has done. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Dr. Sines. You've set up beautifully the power of partnership and collaboration, especially the work with Fort Worth ISD and TCC. And I want to make sure that we get these powerful statistics right. So, Dr. LeBlanc, we know that Tarrant County College is one of the largest higher education institutions in Texas. What's amazing is that in 2020 to 2021, that academic year, the college awarded more than 8,000 degrees and certifications. With nearly 60% of T3's first cohort attending TCC last year, what do you think is the importance of the focus on college readiness and closing that workforce gap?
So thank you, and thank you for inviting me. This is really loud to me, but anyway. So this is very exciting because Tarrant County College has always partnered with the public schools and the universities, and we see ourselves as the liaison that ensures a seamless transition for all of the students from the public schools to college, to universities, and on to the workforce. And T3 is simply highlighting our ability to partner with everyone. We've always done it, and we're just getting better and more disciplined about it. So when David talks about our early college high school and dual credit, when we started with the early college high school, we had just kind of fallen off the turnip truck, David, and we figured it out, and they're a huge success. In this last year, we had over 500 early college high school students graduate with an associate degree before they got their high school diploma. That's a sea change, because the majority of those individuals would never have gone to college. And when you consider that over 8,000 students graduated with a degree, of those 8,000, 55% come from disadvantaged backgrounds. So if you want to address the poverty issue, et cetera, it's through education that you pave that way. Our partnership with the public schools include the early college high school dual credit, T3. In addition to that, our faculty meet and work in concert, which is really special and unique, and it speaks to the quality of our faculty and the willingness of everyone wanting to share information, and that's critical in making things happen. The same is true with our university partners. So Tarleton, we've had a long history with Tarleton and pathway programs so that our students continue their education if they so wish, not only at Tarleton, but all the other partners that you listed in T3. So this is another exciting way that we can continue supporting the workforce, the current and future workforce of Tarrant County. Huge successes. I will say that a majority of the students that are in our dual credit, early college high school and T3 are continuing on to the universities, and they're very successful because they are taught how to become college students. It's a skill that you acquire, and our faculty make sure that they learn those skills. So when we interviewed some of our students as they were transitioning, and we said, what was your experience at Tarrant County College? And they'll say, you know, the first semester, I thought everyone was really tough on me, and I was expected to be my own advocate. I was expected to study, and that was really hard. And now I understand that those professors that I thought were mean to me were really my best friends. And I appreciate that they set a high bar for me, but they also provided high support. And that's the philosophy that we follow as we serve the students from this lens of being student ready in support of them.
Thank you. One of the things that you said that really stuck out to me is just when we think about the 60% of those students that are completing these certifications and credentials and the backgrounds that they come from, and we talk about breaking the cycle of intergenerational poverty, we look at what a family sustainable wage is. That's about $73,000 a year. And so looking at certifications, industry credentials, associate degrees as additional pathways to break out of that cycle of poverty, it just creates and opens up all of those opportunities for students. So I'll turn now to Dr. Hurley. Dr. Hurley, I had an opportunity to be on campus and sit down and talk with you. And one of the things that you said that is still very impactful for me to this day is you talked about your experience as a first-generation college student and how that truly informs the work that you do and the passion behind it. So with connecting that a little bit to our theme in workforce, I'd love for you to just share how that experience informs your work and the way you approach student persistence.
Well, let me start by saying how important Fort Worth ISD and Tarrant County College is to Tarleton State University. As many of you in this room know, Tarleton State University has been part of the educational DNA here in Fort Worth for north of 40 years. We've been here a long time. And it started with one single program in medical lab sciences. And I think, Karen Murray, we had roughly, 8 students when Dr. Lamar Johansson launched that program here. And now we've grown to over 2,500 just at our Fort Worth campus alone. And it's because of this partnership. Also, roughly 35 to 37% of our students come from the Metroplex. Tarrant County is our largest county that provides the number of students to Tarleton. And we're among the top 5 fastest growing public universities in the country. So it's because of these partnerships. We saw Tarrant, T3, Tarrant through and through, we saw that partnership aligning best with Tarleton State because 50+% of our students are first generation. Last year's numbers were 54%. We started our first day of classes yesterday, so that data is still trickling in. We will be north of 50% again. We had the largest, most diverse freshman class, the largest, most diverse student population. And we want to align ourselves with ISDs, with community college partners, and with educational partners that are aligned with opportunity and access. When John Tarleton founded Tarleton State 123 years ago, it was all about opportunity and access. And as a first-generation poverty product from the hills of East Kentucky, it's very, very important that all of us not forget the essence and the power of higher education. Whether it's with an institution like Texas Wesleyan, TCC, or Tarleton State, it's important. It's very, very important. And so that's why we wanted to attach ourselves to T3 when Dr. Kapp and Mayor Parker and those individuals came to visit with us. It was a no-brainer, right? We wanted to be aligned because what T3 is about opportunity and access and ensuring that the students from Crowley and from Fort Worth ISD have an opportunity to succeed. Because here's what all of you need to understand as business owners. Texas is one of the few states, in fact, I think statistically we're only one of 3 states that have more high school graduates over the next 10 years. 46 to 47 states will lose high school graduates over the next 10 years, and some of those in a significant manner. In particular, contiguous states to Texas, those states are coming to Texas and they're poaching our high schools and they're taking some of our best and brightest students back to their states because that's how they backfill enrollments and, of course, enrollment support budgets. And so if you think about states like Oklahoma, New Mexico, et cetera, they're spending an enormous amount of time and money and effort in Fort Worth, in Tarrant County, trying to extract our intellectual capital, our students. And they're not coming after the bottom 50%, they're coming after the top 10%. And so as we lose a top 10% student out of this area, it's called the brain drain conundrum. We all have to be focused on that. That's why this partnership with T3, I believe, is the most critical partnership that we have going in Fort Worth to ensure that we are able to produce a sustainable workforce. So that's why it's important for you as business owners to support T3. If you're not, shame on you, support T3. Natalie did not pay me to say that, but it is very, very important because the brain drain conundrum is real. And we saw that over the last 2 to 3 years because of COVID. It's all about access, opportunity, but keeping our students here. That's really important. I did not answer your question, but
You did answer. You did.
I did put a great plug in for T3.
Put a great plug.
There's that, right?
Yes, there is that, and I don't have to do my conclusion any longer, so that's wonderful. Yeah, it's already been done, so that's perfect. What I think that you all have been able to see is just the power of community investment. And so when we talk about community, it's not just higher education, ISDs, it's the entire community. It's businesses, it's all of us working together to create these pathways to economic prosperity for students who are really looking for it. And at T3, we want to help them navigate to find that best fit opportunity. And for some of them, that is 2-year, 4-year. Others, it's, I want to go ahead and get my associates right in high school so that I'm ready and prepared to enter the workforce. So we want to make sure that we're making those connections. I know, how are we doing on time, Dr. Kapp?
Not well.
Not well? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Since they're friends here, you can see. They work very closely together. We're going to give, I think, each panelist an opportunity. Like I said, I'll forgo, my conclusion. It's already been done, or my summary. We'll have each of the panelists just maybe speak a little bit to that power of community investment, and what would be, that call to action to the folks that are here. How can they lean in and support your individual work?
I'll keep it simple. We are open for collaboration with our business partners. That is the one way we're going to be able to design those relevant programs I talked about. So if you want to learn more about it, please reach out to me, reach out to anyone in our district, but come through me if you'd like, so that we can build those pathways and build that prosperity together. So collaboration, and we're here. Please come, and we'll welcome you with open arms.
So we stand ready to work with the business community. We have a history of that. And I did want to point out that of the T3 scholars that we currently have, 1 in 3 are in our career and technical programs. And that is a collaborative effort with, yes, the public schools, but also with business and industry. And we're always looking for apprenticeship opportunities for our students. That is a good way for people in the business community to see the work ethic and the skills that our students bring to the table, even before you hire them. And so I hope that the business community continues to support our programs through our advisory committees, meeting with our students, and offering apprenticeships.
I would concur. We too at Tarleton State, many of you know we have a very fast-growing campus, not just in population, but we're investing significant money, the Texas A&M system, in our Chisholm Trail campus, along with what the Texas A&M system is doing with their downtown initiative, which Tarleton will be one of the anchor tenants there as well. So we want to provide those internships, externship opportunities. We want to ensure that we're producing degrees that align with the workforce needs. And so that's critically important. We're making a significant investment into the health sciences, in particular nursing, PA, PT, OT, CRNA, et cetera, along with educators. We know that our Fort Worth ISD partners need more teachers. They need highly qualified teachers. They need teachers that come from diverse backgrounds. And quite frankly, they need teachers that we produce. And so we are working very closely with them. We want to work very closely with our business community. So if you would let any of us know at Tarleton State how we can meet your needs, we will do that. And the Texas A&M system on top of Tarleton State University is Fort Worth is where we plan on growing, not just in terms of enrollment, but strategic investment. So we're very pleased to be here and very pleased to be part of this partnership.
Thank you. And when we talk about business engagement and investment, we share space with the Fort Worth Chamber. And the Fort Worth Chamber has a very strong partnership with Fort Worth ISD, and they're pushing down even into 8th grade. So creating those opportunities, they have to select their endorsement in 8th grade. So we're all coming together to truly lean in to support the students. And so finally, on your tables, you will see the Lens magazine. And we want to thank Shannon Bryant from TCC for putting together this communication. And if you turn to page 43, you'll be able to see how you can continue to engage and truly support students on that pathway. The power of caring adults and individuals in the community to create those meaningful connections through mentorship and opportunities for apprenticeships and internships are really important. And so we'd love to have you connect with us so we can continue on that. Yeah. All right, I think we're, oh, okay, so it looks like we have time for a couple of questions. If you have any, does anyone have any questions for the panelists?
That is, and that's our commitment. So the question was, with the Pathway Partnership, and that's what it's called, the Pathway Program between TCC and Tarleton State, they have to earn X number of hours at the community college, and we prefer those students to have that associate's degree, seamlessly transfer to Tarleton and finish their baccalaureate degree, and then we hope that they will matriculate into one of our master's and doctoral degrees. For example, we knew that criminal justice, there was a huge need for a PhD in CJ. We're the first and only institution that offers that in the Metroplex, and that was through alignment with TCC and with the city of Fort Worth and helping meet some of those needs. So yes, that still holds true today. We do not offer the gen ed courses there. We want those students to come from our partner and then seamlessly transfer. It's really important.
So I'm a business owner, and we are desperate for young people to bring in, to train, to certify. So how do we, practically, literally, how do we get started with you guys to develop those internships and partnerships? Because we're desperate. Lots of us are the same level.
Thank you for asking that question. If you create a company profile, and we have a link to do that, and ask just a couple of questions, it takes about 10 minutes. We just need to know what are the requirements? You know, are they certifications? Do you hire right out of high school? It'll take about 10 minutes to complete that, and then we can begin working with our ISDs to see what students are coming out and how can we begin doing those soft matches. So we can provide that connection link for you as well, and for anyone who would like it. Yeah. Thank you. Do we have time for one more? We got one more question. Okay.
Fantastic. Look,
okay.
I'm a preacher. I got to say. Schools have been rated me. This is a big deal.
Yes.
A big deal.
Yes.
That we are not celebrating enough in our media, in our business community, in our community at large.
Yep.
Let's change.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, all of you, for attending today. I know we all appreciate you are preparing the next generation of employees and citizens for our community. Thank you very much. It's an important job. As a token of our appreciation, it's a tradition of the Rotary Club of Fort Worth to donate a book for each of you to the Fort Worth Public Library, and there is a copy of the book plate for each one of you as a memento. Thank you again. Thank you, Dr. LeBlanc. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
David. And now, thank you again. I also want to thank our sponsor, Tarleton State University. Tarleton State University, a founding member of the Texas A&M University System, transforms generations by inspiring discovery, leadership, and inclusion through educational excellence. Tarleton will be the premier comprehensive regional university in the nation with a keen focus on student success, teaching, and research. John Tarleton's commitment to educational opportunity and affordability is part and parcel of all that we do. And a few quick wrap-up announcements. Don't forget ongoing program sponsorships. We want to thank our Zoomers who may be attending from home or elsewhere. And there is no international committee meeting today. It's been rescheduled. Veterans and Military Committee meeting is in Imperial Room here on the 12th floor. The member survey deadline is upon us. If you haven't heard from someone, please reach out to a member of the membership committee, Pam Cannell or Aurora or any one of us. As Rotarians, we all serve the community, but as your board and as your committee chairs, we are here to serve you. So let us know what we can do. Let us know how to make the Rotary experience as valuable as it can be for you. And also, don't forget to buy your tickets for the Global Classico Tex-Mex football game on August 27th. Thank you to the players, to the Gold Line Dance Team, and to James McBride, Director of Communications at Texas Wesleyan, who is here today. And finally, next week's program, if you're not watching him on CNBC, you might be chasing him up and down the basketball court. Next week, we talk money sense with our own local financial pundit, Jim LeCamp. Don't miss it, and have a great weekend. This meeting is adjourned.